All right, hello everyone. Just adjust my volume a little. That's a little better. Okay, hi everyone. So this is going to be my first open world seed. Very exciting. So basically this is a new thing that is being worked on for this rando. This open world concept is essentially just going to be like everything in the game that has a permanent flag will be already checked from the beginning. So basically, the best way to think about it is anything that you do in the game that stays that way when you come back later, that will already be completed. So if you think about like all the things like Doctor left, that book falling down, you leave the room and you come back and it's still falling down. You push boulders into holes, you leave the room, you come back. That will all still be there. So we are going to have access to a ton of checks from the very beginning. Outside of that, this should be a normal seed, other than one other thing is that we have a setting so that non-elemental dungeons are going to be barren. So if Cave of Flames is unrequired, then we never even have to enter Cave of Flames. If Royal Crypt is unrequired, we never have to enter Royal Crypt. That said, you know, the areas outside those can still be required. Even if Royal Crypt is unrequired, we might still need to go into the graveyard and grab some stuff there. You know, who knows? And yeah, that's basically about it. Settings other than that, we are going to have obscure checks on. We're going to have Rupee Mania, Open Fusion, all that kind of good stuff. Yeah, so that's really exciting. Glitches are enabled for this. I actually did not disable them for whatever reason, but we shouldn't really have to use them. So yeah, let's see how this goes. So we also have Keezy on. The thing about these flags is that it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter if we have Keezy or not. The doors will just be open. I need to reset my brain in a lot of ways. So I'm trying to think about like what I should be doing right from the start. And I think routing wise, I actually want to go this direction because I want to go into town and set my reset point up here. And then go to Puddle and Westernwood. Yeah, so all of that right there is like all completed before I do anything. Okay, starting with boots. Starting with boots would have been good, but we have traps enabled because I hate myself for some reason. Little bit of a fat finger there. So there's going to be a lot of interesting things like this. So normally we need Torch to do Percy here, but the check is already done. The lanterns are lit, so we can just go in there and grab that right away. Very nice. So we got our first sword. We get a shield right away. Shield is really interesting in this. So we actually only need shield. Oh, we get flippers right away too. We actually only need shield for Octo as a boss. For a reason that we'll see in just a second here. So if I go down through here, these scrubs are already out because it's a flag for them to be out of their hole. going in kind of a weird direction. But I'm not totally sure the best way to route all this in. Because I want to do those, and I want to then come back down here and do this beanstalk, right? God, those boots would have been so nice if they would have been legit. Oh my god. Very trap heavy. Hey, Nova. Alright, now we can enter town. Got a few things going for us right now. But so far, not a whole ton done. Hey, Nova. Maybe you should not be in front of my screen right now. Let's see. So what's in shop? Ooh, a bomb bag. And a boomerang. I don't need boomerang for any checks, so I'm probably not going to go out of my way to grab that. Okay, I don't need that. I don't need money right now. This door is normally closed until you have lantern. Very nice. So, I mean, at the start, it's not too different than just doing any random seed. Other than there's a bunch of checks that we have access to that we wouldn't normally. But yeah, at first, we're essentially going for the same strategy. We're just looking for items that point us in the direction that we're going to be going. So these buttons are actually a check, so I actually really only need to go down and grab the treasure chest and go back up. It's kind of fun. Ooh, actually, I kind of want to go an interesting direction because I have flippers, so I want to go through here and do this. Okay. Dang. Why did I shuffle traps? I hate traps so much, and I was just like, oh, I'll just try and keep it in line with like what a normal rando race settings would look like. This is essentially race settings with open world enabled. I don't have a timer today because I'm not too worried about like doing this as a speed run, but I'm more curious about exploring, and I don't want the timer to like stop me from testing something. So apologies to anybody who really cares about those timers, but I just don't feel like I need to do a timer today. But if you care a whole ton, then you know you can always just look at the you can always figure out how much time I took with the video below. So there's a lantern there, which is kind of fun. Because we don't need lantern for this check anymore, so it's kind of funny that he has it. It's like, oh, he lit his own torches. Ooh, roll attack is pretty good. All right, this gets even more interesting because now we don't need boots to do this. So we can basically just clear this whole area before moving on. It's kind of wild. Because, like, normally we come here in the beginning because it's, like, Sphere 0. But then we always wind up having to come back because it's so rare to actually get, like, Boots and Lantern in Sphere 0 at the same time. Like, if you get either, you'll get, like, one or the other, usually. Just because, you know, statistically, there's just less combinations of beatable seeds where both those things are in Sphere 0. But yeah, that's kind of one of the big draws of open world is that, you know, like you can just go places and you don't need to like go back. Like it's kind of nice that we can just go wherever. We will need to double back for some things. So like here, I don't have mitts. So maybe later I'll have to come back here and dig up an important check that's right there that I'm not getting right now, but no idea yet. We'll see. Okay, those are cool. Actually, are they? I actually don't think I need them for any checks. Let's see. Yeah, because Doctor left, the cabin. That should all be done right away, right? Okay, last thing that's kind of interesting. This is pretty fun. This is already done. So while normally I would not go to Cloud Top so I could save my save warp, I can just go through here and grab all these chests just while I'm here and then go back down through the warp. And actually, maybe while I'm at it, I should do a map check. See what direction I have to go. Okay, so no Royal Crypt and no Palace. Which is actually one of the better case scenarios. Because that means I don't need... Well, I guess it's not one of the best case scenarios. Because Royal Crypt is kind of nice to be required, because there's very few things in there anyway, and I can clear it out on first visit very easily. Yeah, so now that that's done, Wind Tribe is just full cleared. So what direction do I go next? I think next I just go this way. Just kind of want to go up Lon Lon Ranch, perhaps go just clear Temple of Droplets. Yeah, actually, Temple of Droplets is definitely where I want to go next. Because I have everything I need to full clear that dungeon. Let's see. I do just kind of want to go through here. I need to get the Lon Lon check. I am doing this with a tracker, but notably there's no tracker for open world yet because this is still kind of in testing. So I don't actually have a good tracker. I just have my normal tracker and it has all checks set to available from the start. But that's not necessarily easy for me to follow because it's just so much information and I have to do a lot more in my brain to parse out like where I can go. Oh, finally, spin attack. Let's see. Don't have doggy stuff yet. Starting with flippers is kind of interesting because there's so many flippers checks that are... Flippers checks are kind of slow, but they're like very dense. Like they're slow to get to, but once you're there, there's a lot of them. You know what I mean? Maybe not. Kind of sounds weird because that means that they're not slow, but they're like out of the way. So early flippers tends to like really push you in a very specific direction. It's like there's a lot of checks over here, but like they're only over here. Another bomb bag. Second bomb bag is usually really good. I like having 30 bombs a lot more than I like having 10. But like, I definitely feel like I don't notice having 50 over 30. It's like having more bombs is good, but once you have too many bombs, then it's really just a, you know, just a hazard. All right. I don't have enough hearts yet for Waveblade, but maybe droplets will have what I need. So first things first. Let's just go get the element. No! Damn it. No, come here. Oh. Thought I was gonna miss that. I think this kind of messes up the RNG. So one of the nice things about open world for this is the RNG is actually set for this fight. But if you mess it up, then you're just kind of donezo. Yep, donezo. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, because you get a perfect fight if you just come in here and go straight to the boss. That's my understanding, at least. Okay, stop that. Like, spit at me. Spit at me. Nice. One more. Nice. Okay, I'll take this. Okay, so a bunch of nice things about this. Because it's open world, we have the 2 warps, which means that we don't actually need to do a ton in here. Ooh, swim butterfly. That's very nice, finally. Yeah, we mostly just need to, like, enter a few doors. Okay, we are 1 heart piece away. Or 1 heart container away from, Waveblade, which is kind of the goal in this place. It's 4 heart pieces in 1 container. Yes, so we do need the what's it called? Oh, that's a very nice find. We do need the gust jar to full clear this. But we don't need the gust jar just to access this area. Is that everything I can do? Yeah, because I can't do that. Yeah, so if I were to go to the blue warp here, I would have access to down here. And again, this is why I don't have the tracker, because I just want to show this off without worrying about my time. Yeah, so if I had, like, cape, I'd be able to just jump straight over there and not worry about it. But I don't, so I'm going to have to go in through this way. It's unfortunate not to have cape or boots here. Which means maybe I don't really want to be here, truth be told. Yeah. Yeah, it's entirely possible that I'm really... Oh, thank goodness. It's entirely possible that I'm really supposed to be coming back, but, you know... then you get a sword, and then you're... and then you're very happy you stuck around. Man, so we got sword and we got bow, which are both really good. Where does that point us, though? Because I'd say it points us towards Castor, but we don't have any way of, we don't have any way of, or, like, getting past the beginning of Castor. Or else, yeah, it would be great. I guess, do I want to do Dark Maze? Kind of do. Ooh, I definitely do, because all those are all taken care of. Oh my god, so yeah, I can just go straight to the treasure chest. Oh, that is very nice. Oh, wait, yeah, and that means that the mini boss should be taken care of. Muscle memory. Let's see. And then... okay, yeah. And then I'm done here. That's everything I can do. Oh, so I got Great Spin. So I am glad I did Dark Maze. Wow, that's actually really cool. I kind of love that. Okay, be a heart piece, heart piece, heart piece. Damn it. Literally one heart piece away from being able to do that. Literally one heart piece. All right, well, I think next I want to do this loop. For a variety of reasons. One, because there's just a lot of checks over here. But also, it's just very nearby. So it feels like a very strong play. There's my heart piece. The other thing is, even though I can't complete Deepwood Shrine, like, I can still just go through it because I can get every check because the warps are available. Okay, so continuing on, just gonna clear Minish Village real quick. I guess it is worth noting that I could climb Krenel because I do have Grip Ring. Like, I have everything I need to just, like, go up and do that. Yeah, so these are already done for me. So I'm basically just going to go and clear all these chests. We'll start here. Okay, so this is something I'm curious about. Can I get over here without... No, I can't. Yeah. Okay, so that I still need some way of getting over to. It's kind of interesting. Like, that's just slightly not close enough. Very cool, very cool. So, to full clear this dungeon, I need Cape or, you just need Cape or, what's it called? Blanking on it. Gust Jar. Okay. One more check, I believe. Yep. Alright, so that's everything I can do here, I believe. Let me just triple check that. So that's nothing, that's nothing. Oh! Oh my god, there's one more check I can do there. I'm glad I double checked it. Cause that's really funny. It's actually gonna be really cool if this is like a Gust Jar. This one right here. I was like so desperate to just like skip walking through that room that I almost forgot that there's just a treasure chest right there. Okay, so this is going to be really cool actually because while I think this routing isn't like totally optimal, it does allow me to take care of these flippers checks right away and then do the bomb cave and beanstalk right away. But the way I'm routing, I'm essentially trying my best to like never double back anywhere. Which, you know, not totally succeeding at. considering that we don't have Mitts right away. Mitts is like the only thing where it's just like it's never worth it to like not visit a place because there's a Mitts check you can't do. It's kind of one of the more annoying, like, important items, IMO. Because it's just like, oh, I can do everything but one check, and it's always the Mitts check. All right, where to next? Yeah, I guess Krenel. I guess before I do Krenel, though, I should go through here. Just take care of this. I feel very inclined to do lower Krenel because... might as well. Just because of the open world settings, like I want to just clear out everything that is like Sphere 0. Because Sphere 0 could really have anything. But that's kind of a struggle of a requirement because Sphere 0 is like 80% of the game. I'm doing my best to keep my tracker nice and clean as well. Kind of failing at that. So if I forget something, I hope nobody is like screaming at their screen like, "You passed a thing! You passed a thing!" You'd think I'd know this game better by now, but I don't. You know, I almost feel very inclined to do vanilla Krenel. And I'm not going to for one reason, and it's maybe an interesting reason. But I think going up Krenel vanilla can be worth it, because if there isn't Oops. Oh my god. Okay, I just gotta stop rolling right now. If there isn't a cane or flute up here, then I'm guaranteed to have it on my second visit, you know? But the problem is that that's not necessarily true, because there could be cane or flute on the mitts checks in Malari's mines. So I definitely feel a little less inclined to go in just while that's on the table. I think if I get mitts here at any point, it'll be a lot more enticing. All right, so this door is open always after you click the button, so we can just go straight in there. Man, Krenwell is pretty barren. Speaking of things being barren, too, one thing I really want to call out is the new logic of non-elemental dungeons being barren is kind of interesting, because, like, one of the things about this game that can be somewhat annoying for Randomizer is just, like, the ratio of, like, checks to important checks is really, really low. So, like, when you do this rando, like, the vast majority of your time is going to be checking useless things. I mean, like, as you can see, like, we've checked so many things so far, and we still just have, like, yeah, sword, shield, lantern, bombs, and arrows. We've checked so much, and that's all we have. And so sometimes it was very annoying when it was like, okay, I've checked like 90% of the game, and the only check left is like unrequired Palace of Winds. But by Palace of Winds being guaranteed barren, that's a lot of checks that is suddenly just like unneeded. Really just any random 2 dungeons being barren like adds a ton of it like makes that ratio better. I think probably trying to think of the 2 dungeons that have the most checks. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the 2 dungeons with the most checks. I think it's gotta be like Palace and Fortress or Palace and Droplets. Like, if those 2 dungeons are barren, then, like, that in of itself is huge. Okay, now comes the part, do I want to do Vanilla Climb? And I don't think I do. I think I'll come back to do Vanilla Climb, even though I'm kind of running out of checks to do. Which is wild to say in this. I think what I'll do is I'll start up some Minish checks while I think about what I want to do next. So best case scenario right now is Minish checks will just point me to where I need to go. Especially if it... Do I need the magic boomerang? I don't think I need it. I think I should be good. Yeah, especially if I get something like mitts or boots. Actually, I think boots right now would be one of the better items. Because boots can only really point to caster right now. Mitts would be fine, though. I think mitts would be fine, just because there's, like, mitts would keep me busy for a little while. But mitts could point in a lot of directions. Like, that's really the only problem with them. Ooh, actually, wait, can I... Ooh, that's an interesting... Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I can just go backwards through here. All right. Okay, and I have mushroom as well. Let's see. I mean, really, all that's left is Wave Blade and Cuckoo Game. Is that actually, like, the last two things I can do right now? Is Wave Blade and Cuckoo Game? Oh no. Where'd you go? Okay, I should be fine. This is gonna come down to the wire, though. All right, I guess off to Waveblade. Oh, there is one more check I can do. There's a Cloud Tops chest I can grab. But as soon as that Cloud Tops chest is grabbed, then I'm donezo. There's nothing else. Wait. What's the fastest way to get to Waveblade? I think it's this way. Yeah, not this way. Trying to think, what am I missing? Like, I guess there just must be something else that I can do that I haven't thought about yet. Oh, I can go to Fountain. I should have gone to Fountain when I was in town. And I can also do Simon's Simulator. And I have... I mean, yeah, I do have Great Spin. I probably should have done Simon's Simulator. I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda, I guess, but... Yeah, I'll do Simon Simulator. What are you gonna have for me today, Simon? You gonna have cane for me? You gonna have... You're gonna have boots? You're gonna have cape? Come on, Simon, hit me with it, hit me. He's literally just gonna have, like, a bloopy. Cane? Cane? Do it. It's always the bloopy. I'm curious about something. Wait, is this... Oh! I don't... Oh my god. Alright. We have places to be. Holy shit. I can't believe that. I'm literally sitting here complaining like, oh yeah, mitts kind of suck because you need mitts like... Oh, you need mitts or else you can't do anything in this game. And it's right there. It was right there the whole time. Okay. Well, with mitts, where do I want to go? I want to go this way. Hey. I'm stupid. Want to make sure that I don't miss anything, like, very easy to grab. Okay, and now vanilla Krenel climb seems very enticing. Like, very, very enticing. What else seems enticing? I mean, like, it also seems enticing to just go around and grab all the mitts checks that I haven't yet. In fact, I'll probably do the Western Wood mitts checks first real quick. Before I go do Krenel. I'll just set my warp point here. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the Hylian Cave yet, which is probably the most check-dense place that I'm, like, one sphere away from right now. So yeah, essentially this becomes worth it, because now if Malari's Cave... Or really just like, if Vanilla Climb doesn't have cane or one more thing, flute, then I'll be guaranteed to have one of those on my next climb. As far as time goes, I'm 55 minutes into my recording, so I guess that says a lot about the pace of this. Although I will, the pace of this would be very different if I had grabbed mitts right away. That was definitely a huge mistake. Like, I wouldn't be redoing this climb right now if I had just had mitts on my first go around here. Oh my god. Wait. How am I supposed to get through this room? Can I get through this room? Okay, one more try. Yeah, I can't even get through that room. So that's not the way to go. All right, wait. I have to think about this while I do Fountain, I think. Kind of a bad time to do Fountain, but I'm genuinely lost. So I can do more cave stuff around like Lake Hylia. Yeah, I think I really just have to follow mitts. As much as that stinks. Okay, bottle there. All right, away we go to mitts. Ooh, actually. Maybe this isn't worth it, but I do kind of want to just go grab this real quick. Oh, well now I can do vanilla Krenel climb. Yeah, because I have light bow. Well, I'm not going to stray from this path. I'm already way too deep in. All right, so let's think about this. So after we do this next cave, we are close to out of things again. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Guess the Farming Brothers cave. I was almost thinking about grabbing that just for the health refill, but I don't think it's worth it. Let me just clear off more of my tracker that's donezo here. So I can do Vanilla Krenel, or I could do Cloud Tops. Cloud Tops is kind of tempting. Yeah, Cloud Tops is very tempting. Mostly because I don't want to redo the parts of Vanilla Krenel Climb I already did. Because it's just a little too sad for me. But I don't have Cape for this, which is kind of the terrible part. So this is like very vanilla. Which, I don't know, that might make it a little too slow to do this. But I'm not gonna worry too much about that right now. Hey, especially when it gives me red sword. Didn't mean to fall down there. So I do kind of want to speed things up a little bit by doing stuff like that, where I like drop closer to the item. Just because like the fights are already pre-done, so I don't need to do any kinstone stuff, and I definitely don't need to why did I go this way? I don't need to do kinstone stuff, and I definitely don't need to worry about like fighting right now. It's definitely the only bad part about coming up here is like stuff like this would be so much quicker if I just had a cape to jump over these gaps. Oh my god, especially when I do stuff like this where I missed something. I just looked at the tracker and realized that there's a digging spot that I could have grabbed. Ooh, I'm glad I didn't didn't actually forget that, because blue sword might be necessary. Blue sword's kind of big, though. Because I can go to Royal Valley with that. There's also a blue sword check over here that I can do now. And I wanted to go back here anyway, because there's a mitts check I can do here. There's actually 2 mitts checks I can do here. Interestingly enough. I was hoping that would work. Yeah, I kind of want to do Royal Valley next. Probably should have just exited vanilla. Okay, Cloudtops was kind of a success. We got 2 swords while we were up there, and we full cleared it. And Palace is unrequired, so we literally never have to look at that side of the map again. So, a lot of success there. Notably, because it's open world, we don't need boots to actually complete this. We just can walk through the door because it'll just be unlocked. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, nice. Perfect. That is kind of exactly what we were looking for. Because now we can just go down through here. And we're going to chrono climb again. Kane unlocks quite a bit for us. Kane was really one of the big, like, missing pieces for us. And so I'm very happy to have it now. I don't know why I went through that way. Yeah, so we're going to do this first since we can full clear it. Oh, I actually didn't need to pull out a sword because I don't need to do this fight. Long spin's great. This is kind of another interesting spot as far as like open world routing goes. So I'm going to do front of Krenel here. And then once I finish front of Krenel, I actually don't need to like flip the switch and continue through that way because I can actually just hit the blue warp and go straight to the next area. Okay, that is blue there. I always forget that. I'm always just like, oh yeah, I'll just real quick flip one of the pots so I can just walk through, and then it hits the stone, and I'm silly. You know, technically we don't need don't need Cape to finish the seed. We are actually just Gus Jar away from go mode. Don't need to go this way. Oh, I stand corrected, because we also needed 4 sword. Yeah, so we are just Gus Jar away from go mode right now. Guess this is kind of a crappy way to go through. I'm gonna fight the boss here first before anything. That could be a strat. Just do the boss and then Malari's caves and then go through and like full clear the dungeon. God. Okay, this is gotta stop. I gotta keep. keep just like misclicking because I'm used to Kane on A. Oh my god. Oh, glad I had the 4-sword because I kind of would have not killed there. Okay, so I could go through this vanilla. But it would be much faster with Cape. So, like, part of me doesn't want to even attempt it. Alright, but there will be stuff. Alright, I will come through here, vanilla, if I have to. Basically, like, if I don't get Gust Jar here, then I'll just full clear this area. Like, it would feel kind of bad, like, leaving when I'm literally one item away from go mode, and that one item could literally be anywhere. Oh, there it is. All right. Yeah, so I think that's it. I think that's all I need. Because I'm gonna get the 4th element now. Right. Wait, what? Hold up, hold up. Wait, what? I'm so confused. Because I need to clear Fortress, and I need to clear... Like, there should be a thing on Okay, I'm guessing that's a bug. So Fortress should be there, not here. And I did just get an element. That was my 2nd element, right? Oh, I'm not in go mode then, because I can't get to Fortress. I was just thinking I had everything I needed to complete Fortress, and that's true, but I can't get to Fortress, so I'm actually still boots or cape away from Fortress. And unfortunately, Ocarina can't get me close enough. I'd still need to like run over a gap. So Ocarina would not be useful right now. That's nice that that puzzle's done already. Yeah, as much as I hate doing it, let's just clear it for the same reasons I was talking about before. Oh, come on. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm so stupid. I just, like, forget how to do this with, without cape. Okay. Yeah, same reason as before. I just want to full clear this so that I don't like wind up having to come back here for whatever reason. Like cape would make this faster, but like climbing back up here to do this with cape would not be faster. If I had an ocarina, I probably would just leave right now. Just because like there's a lot more checks that I need to be doing. Especially now that I have... Alright, there we go. Yeah, especially now that I have... Ocarina is huge there. I will finish this, just because like I'm already more than halfway done. But yeah, I have a ton of things that I can do now that I have Cane of Pocky. Okay. that was a little close. Yeah, there's only one more check anyway. We're just gonna check one more time. Okay, that's useless, that's useless. Okay. Cave of Flames is complete. Alright, I jumped the gun and didn't actually collect everything here in Malari's Mines. Just because I thought I was go mode suddenly. So let's go ahead and actually finish doing all these. Curses. Oh, I haven't gotten a trap in a while. That's interesting. All right, where to first? I feel like my options are totally limitless. I do kind of want to go here first, though. Mostly because I want to go... I want to go up here. Very healthy seed. Wait, did I check what this was? Yeah, I did. It just wasn't marked on my tracker. Go back here. Oops. Oh, another trap. Very excited to see traps. Except I'm not. Oh my god. Still cannot get into Hype Cave. Well, I guess I'll never go into Hype Cave, actually, because if I get Cape, then I'm just in Go mode, so I say no. And then if I get Boots, I'm in Go mode, and Boots doesn't even let me into Cave anyway. What is that? Oh, that's... I was just looking at my tracker for a second, and I was like, oh, what is that? And it's Temple of Droplets. I can complete Temple of Droplets now that I have a Gust Jar. Although, speaking of completing things, I am going to go ahead and finish up... Oh, I didn't have to walk through here because I do have Flute. And I just did anyway. Oh well, whatever. Yeah, I am going to finish up Deepwood Shrine. I'm gonna actually start by doing that one check I couldn't do. Useless anyway. Yeah, again, very wild that you can't do that check. What? Okay, this is bugged. Yeah, okay. That's just bugged. So either Royal Crypt or Palace has an element. I guess I'll go check Royal Crypt, but that doesn't make sense anyway, because wait, did Deepwood Shrine have important checks in it? I thought Deepwood had a sword in it, which shouldn't be possible, right? No. No, it totally didn't. Oh man, I wish I had taken better notes on this. Okay. Left, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Huh? Oh, that's right, traps. Doi. Oh, that is super nice that I don't have to do these. Forgot about traps. Okay, nothing there. Nothing there. Just realized I was still set to regular bomb. Man, Royal Crypt, you really just walk through. Yeah, this has an element. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. I am concerned. No, what am I doing? I'm like freaking out that Palace has an element now, and then I'm like looking for access to Fortress, but like maybe there's an item in Palace that I'm supposed to be going for. Let's see, how many books do I have? I have 0 books. I was gonna say, maybe it's like some combination of like Yalari or something, but no. I'm gonna go this way, and I'm gonna grab the last Great Fairy. Yeah, I also, by the way, cannot believe how hard I got trolled by that sword trap. You know what? I was just like so in the like mindset of like, oh my god, this is bug. What else is broken? And I see a sword, even though I have the 4 sword, and I'm just like, oh my god, that bug is bad, and just get absolutely wrecked. Actually gonna equip this too. Yeah, because after this I need to go back to town probably. Yeah, you know, because I have the 4 sword, town is pretty cool. Because I can do this 4 sword check here. I can also go back and finish Fountain for real this time. Ah, crap. Yeah, I can do Fountain for real this time. Definitely was not supposed to do it early. I was definitely supposed to... I keep thinking back to like what I was supposed to do early on, and really what I was supposed to do early on was grab those mole mitts. There's no other way of looking at that. Hey, at least I don't have to do this fight, though. That is definitely one of the biggest time savers in open world settings, is just, like, not having to do a bunch of random easy fights. Alright, to Fountain. My one big fear, especially like the glitch map really unnerved me. And my one big fear is that this is going to be an unbeatable seed, where I just like literally like Boots and Cape are like in Fortress of Winds, because that would be unbeatable at that point. Let's see, town is full cleared, I think. Besides Yalari, dash attack, down thrust, and Bell, it is full cleared. Ooh, actually, I'm kind of curious about something. Do I need Tingle Trophy for this? Because this is not like a flag, right? Yeah. I think the only thing I have left is full clearing droplets. which there's only 2 more checks to do in there anyway. So this should not take too long. I think it's just faster to go this way. I could be wrong, though. It's a wrong I'm willing to be. So nice that I don't have to fight these Matapillars. All right, if this isn't a check, I think this is unbeatable because I can't enter caster. Oh, I do have Blue Chew, though. I can still do Blue Chew. So it's actually 3 more. Okay, Blue Chew it is. I do have glitches enabled, so I could Ocarina glitch straight over to Blue Chew. But honestly, I've gone this far without exploiting glitches, so might as well just like finish out the seed without them. Especially just because like I do want to like test the logic of the seed. Can I? No, there's no way for me to finish the seed with glitches. I don't think. All right. Here goes nothing. Yeah. I think that's it. My tracker says I didn't do the ice blocks, but let me actually see if that's true. I think I did them. Yeah, because I think I did both of them, and they were just useless items, so I just left. Yeah. Is there seriously nothing else I can do? Look. Yeah, I mean, okay. That's it. I mean, okay, so I can go into Palace, but it should be barren. Oh! All the wind crests are open. Wait, I can do stuff here. Oh my god. Yeah, wait, I can get a bunch of stuff here, actually. Oh, because the wind crests are open. That's I can't... Yeah. Wow, I'm suddenly so excited. This has to be completable at this point, right? Like, if this is not a completable seed, I'm gonna be so upset after all that. After all that, like, heartbreak. For sure, this is completable. I believe. Wow, I can't believe... I was, like, I just had it in my head that, like, oh, I can't enter caster because, like, I can't get through the initial, like, swamp part, but that doesn't matter. I can literally just do that anyway. I can just get in here with the ocarina. Yeah, Palace should be barren. But I guess we saw before that... can I make this? Yes, I can. There's dog food. I guess that's a reroll. Can I do anything else here? Let's see. I don't think so. I actually probably can. I probably can travel somewhere here. Yeah, and I can definitely do these Minish checks. So I can first of all do this. This would be insane if this is Cape here. Oh my god! It actually was. That is so wild! Okay, wait. So, I just need one more element, right? So... yeah, I mean, I guess... at the very least, if... at the very least, I don't need to do any more checks, actually. Because if this isn't an element... first of all, I can skip straight back to the boss, and if this isn't an element, then the element is... up in Palace. Wow! Oh my god. Wait. I'm actually, like, pogging so hard right now over like how this seed turned out. That really shows off how cool open world is. Like, something like that would just not be possible in like the vanilla logic. Because like in vanilla logic, I just never would have been able to get over there. I do have a spoiler log. So I do have a spoiler log in case we want to see where those boots were. I say in case, but I do. I really want to know where the boots were. They could be anywhere. They could be anywhere. But it'll be interesting to see if we could have gotten the boots somehow. Like, if, like, maybe they were, like, in the beginning of Palace or something? Which I get, in theory, that shouldn't be possible. But, you know, I'm really not going to get over that map. Oh my god. All right. Oh, I thought I was stuck for a second. Okay, please just have the element. As much as I, you know, love to do Palace and fight Georg or whatever. Take a bomb bag. Okay, thank goodness. That's the element. Okay, I don't need Cape to beat Vati, right? Like, I know I don't, and yet I'm still like... Or I don't need Boots to beat Vati. I know I don't need Boots to beat Vati. I don't need Cape to beat Vati either, so it really did not matter which one we got. And I'm still second-guessing myself because my brain is just so broken after this. I kind of love this. Yeah, I love this so much. The open world settings are so fun. I can't believe, like, how amazing this seed was. I literally was so down. I thought it wasn't going to be completable. Man, in randomizer, like, we really never think about using the whirlwind up in Caster anymore, because like usually by the time we would get there, we have a bow. Yeah, I can't think of exactly why, like, I almost never need to use that whirlwind, but it's just, like, it's really not in my brain space. Like, I'm really glad that I, like, thought of it. Because I was, like, thinking, like, oh, yeah, I guess I could also use the whirlwind to, like, do Ghostblade, you know? Very good call. Very good call. I was even, like, honestly, I was even gonna, like, flute back and do hiking, because I was just like thinking, like, I literally have to be able to complete this right here. Guess I should save just in case I need to load the game. Oh yeah, I don't have Rock Breaker. Literally, just die. I wanted a Rock Breaker and just grab a quick heart, because it can't hurt, but... Damn. Okay. Almost there. What the heck? Guess I forgot how to fight Vati. Oh my god. Oh my god. Literally, just... Oh my god. Vati. Do a move or something. Okay, thank you. Oh my god. No! Damn it. Fuck that up. Okay. Lantern. Yeah, I really like open world. I'm thinking more conceptually about this, just like how many like cool things that there really are. Oh, I actually need Kane first. Forgot how to do this fight, I guess. Come on, Vati. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on! Nice. Wow. This seed, I almost thought was unbeatable. I almost thought this seed was unbeatable. That was so cool. All right. All right, last thing we want to do is let's look at the spoiler log. That is tracker stuff. Okay. Let's see. So first of all, we want to check where the boots were, right? So let's see. Pegasus boots. They were on Dark Hyrule Castle Northwest chest. Okay, so those were in DHC. We're never gonna get those. That's really interesting. So you can have items in Dark Hyrule Castle. So like in theory, if Deepwood Shrine isn't an elemental dungeon, we could have like a Gust Jar in Dark Hyrule Castle, because we can get into Dark Hyrule Castle without Gust Jar, assuming that we don't need it for a boss. Okay, so that's huge. Let's keep that in mind for future seeds. I do want to see, let's see, what else do we have? Man, we got no kinstones through that. Why don't we just take a peek at where those were? They're just not even in the spoiler log because they're just totally unnecessary. Wait, so does that mean that like what's it called? The trophy that you normally need to get into Figurine House, what is that called? Something Cov? I forget what it's called. Markov, that's it. Yeah, it's not in the spoiler log either. Okay, yeah. Literally, those are just totally unrequired, so they just don't appear in the spoiler log. That's awesome. That is really something. Yeah, let's see. So there's Rockbreaker in Palace. Picori Legend in Palace first have Wizrobe big chest. What is the Picori Legend? Oh, a book. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Palace Wizrobe fight was a Picori Legend. Yeah, so I guess that's just one of the books. Do you want to see what else was in Palace? There's a trap, rupees, bombs, arrows. It's a large quiver in Palace. Mask history. So there's a second book in Palace. So two of the three books were in Palace. So, okay, that is... Okay, worth noting. Does that mean that even if Palace is barren, there were books there, right? And because there were books there, if like Yulari had Gust Jar, if Yulari had Gust Jar, we would have had to enter Palace to get the books in order to go finish that up. That is so interesting. And then, yeah, Rockbreaker was in Palace as well. And where was Downthrust? That was in the Hylia Cave. Oh, yeah, what else was in the Hylia Cave? Because that was the other thing. I was like, oh, what could be in there? Tingle Trophy was in there. And then Tingle had arrows. What did the bell have? Town bell. It had 200 rupees. Yeah, wow. I was kind of blown away by the logic of that seed. I think the ocarina being able to take you anywhere is kind of one of the most exciting parts about open world. I I was pretty confident that I was pretty prepared for just about any situation because like I have a pretty good sense of the flags that are available in the game, but I really did not consider like how overpowered the ocarina was. Because like I was thinking initially like, oh, ocarina is very strong, like I can skip Krenel climb, I can skip, you know, I can skip doing any like cloud tops, but you just like take that a step further because like caster, I never consider the fact that like you could need ocarina to get to caster because normally if you can open that ocarina check you already have boots or you already have cape. So this is the first time that like I had to do caster without boots or cape. That is a logic that's not possible in vanilla. Like it's not possible for that logic to work. And in fact, that was required logic. I was required to get the ocarina in order to get over to Ghostblade and get the cape. Wow. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop like fangirling right now over just how cool that seed was. Um and yeah, that's gonna be it for me. If you're enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing and all that kind of good stuff. I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I did, and I will see you next time.